Welcome to another edition of the DoorDash daily recap video. This is for today's Wednesday, February 7th. And so start time for today's dash was 5:02 in the morning, and today would at least the start of the dash couldn't have been any more different than yesterday. Yesterday I talked about how I had 6 deliveries before it even started getting light outside, and this morning was slow. I got off to a really bad start with only 2 orders and high mileage. I'll get to it here, but starting off with didn't take all that long to get my first offer, just 18 minutes after I logged in. I got this Jolly Pirate, and even though it's going clear out east, but still it's not even 5:30 in the morning. Traffic's not going to be an issue. I took it. Why not? Just to get me out there and get me moving. I haven't been to Jolly Pirate in several days now, so why not? So I get this, and I'm always a little bit concerned going out to that Obet's Groveport area because, especially at night, if this is delivering to one of the warehouses, because this area is almost like, sometimes it seems like nothing but warehouses. I'm surprised there's anybody lives in those areas at all. Um, but this, surprisingly, this order was actually going to a house. Um, it's kind of funny. It's this housing community that I don't know what to make of it. It looks relatively new. I don't know when these homes were built, but it looks newer. But at the same time, it looks like a rough area, and parts of it are like really trashy. And like, I don't, is this a good area, a bad area? I mean, I have no idea. I've been there a few times before. All the street names are like colonial, like, late 1700s themed street names, and real tight streets with, people parked on the street. There's hardly any room to drive down the little streets. And trash, there's speed bumps, there's sewers that you gotta like drive over. And it just kind of amazes me, like, why people would want to live in a setup like that. And my next, I actually had 2 deliveries today, to the trailer park, with the speed bumps. The size of each speed bump is like the as tall as Mount Kilimanjaro, and practically, and like, and that's another example. Like, a place like that, why would somebody want to live in a community where it's that treacherous to get to and from your home? I don't really get that, but to each their own, I guess. um so anyway, I dropped that off and managed to escape the colonial United States, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson housing community. I got out of there. Here's the pay screen for that. 425, $5 tip. Next order was, so I was on my way back when I got this next order. 1025, 15 miles. I took it. I figured, just now I'd already gone out east, clear to the Atlantic Ocean. So now why not? Let's take an order, go out west and hit the Pacific Ocean. I'll hit the east and west coast both in, my first 2 orders. Let's do it. So I pick this up. I go clear out to California to deliver this. it's kind of funny. I pull up to the Tim Hortons and there's they have this sign out in front of the doors, and it's supposed to let you know if the lobby is open or not. And they had like one side of the sign says lobby closed, and then the other side like advertises their chicken or something for Wendy's, or I don't know. Some advertisement on the other side. But anyway, the closed side was facing out. So I'm like, okay, so I turn my car around, I go into the drive-through. There's 5 cars in front of me, but it went kind of fast. But anyway, I was sitting there waiting to get up to the speaker, and some lady parks her car, gets out of her car, and is walking up to the doors. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, couldn't you see the sign? You're okay. You're gonna walk all the way up there. Door's gonna be locked, and So I was watching her and then to see that she would try that door, it'd be locked. She'd come back to her car, but she opened the door and walked in. So they did unlock the door. They just forgot to flip the sign around. And I don't know what's so hard about that. That's happened before at that location. I just don't get it. Like, what's so hard about, okay, at a certain time, whatever time it's supposed to be, I don't know, 5:30, whatever time you unlock the, just follow the same procedure. Unlock the door, take one step outside, flip the sign around, go back inside to return to your job. What? Like, I don't get it. I don't. I don't know. I don't understand stuff like that whatsoever. Um, and then this ends up going to the trailer park that I mentioned. And then so here's the pay on that. Um, I mean, not bad. 7.25, $3 tip. It was just the mileage. You see that order bump me up over the 70% mark again. Um, and so at this point, now I delivered this and I got back to zone. I pulled into Meyer, and at this point, like I said, I was off to a horrible start. 2 orders for $19.50, but I had drove 42 miles to that point. So, and then I'm sitting in Meyer. You see, I deliver that at 6:30. I wait a half hour and get a this $7 McDonald's that I declined, 11 miles. See, the problem with that is I'm over at Meyer. This is on the other side of my zone. It's sometimes, a lot of times in the mornings, I'm sitting over here in this area waiting for orders, but not this particular morning. And so, and Meyer was already open. They opened at 6 o'clock. So, and I got a McDonald's there near me as well. So I got McDonald's, Meyer. So that's why I declined this, and give me something like where I'm at is what I was kind of hoping for, instead of tracking all the way across zone for that. So then 1 minute later, I get like almost an even worse offer, $5, 8 miles. Pretty much the same as their previous. It's the other pickup area in my zone, and I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken that first offer and just drove over there. I don't know, but I thought I could get something and I didn't. So I sat and sat like another 10 minutes. I'm not getting anything. And I got tired of sitting there. So then at that point I just decided to go home. So I came home. I got here at 7:22. Still no orders. That's when I put my dash on a pause for only 9 minutes. My wife was still sleeping, so I thought I'd go ahead and take the dog out. I walked him around the pond. And so, like I said, that took about 9 minutes. Resumed the dash at 7:31, and just 3 minutes later, I went ahead and took this seven. You might as well say $7, 7 miles, Bob Evans. Um, so that got me out of the house. Went to pick that up, deliver that. Standard delivery. Order was ready when I got there. No problems with the drop off. That was an easy one. Next order was this 1089 CVS, only 3.6 miles. So I'm hoping to, kind of like I had that bad start on mileage, but these Tuesday through Friday dashes, these aren't sprints for me. These are marathons. So if I can start off really bad on mileage, that was just the beginning of the dash. I got a long way to go, and I can catch up on those miles, or at least close the gap a little bit. Lessen that gap. It was a huge, wide gap at the start of the day, but hopefully I can close that starting with this order. So I go to CVS, and so here's the list. Um, let's pull up the second screen here. The only thing, okay, so we got all three types of monsters on this screenshot. The only thing I had a problem with was these monsters. So I found they wanted two of the Ultra Zero. The store just had one, and I found the Paradise. So just those two cans. So we're missing one of the Ultra Zero and this strawberry they didn't have. So I text the customer, included a shelf picture, um, waited a minute or two. I think I shopped for the last remaining items, came back to that drink cooler, called the customer, no answer. So that's when I sent my additional message, no answer to my phone call or text. Out of the four cans that you were, I found two of the cans, and we'll check out with those. You will be refunded for the two missing items, and then I checked out. So I've talked about before. I don't know. You got somebody out there shopping for an order for you. I don't know why you can't respond or pick up the phone, or I don't know. This was a decline, 375 Tim Hortons. Don't today. I don't really need to be taking orders less than $4, so just I just decline it for that reason only. Next, I took this one, 550 for an additional 3.5 miles. Um, I think I was just finishing up with the CV. I don't know. I can't remember if I was still in the store. I think I was. I think I was still inside the store. Hadn't finished up there yet when I got this offer. um, because that first one was at 8:24, and then this came at 8:30. So then after leaving CVS, it had me pick up and deliver the McDonald's next. So here's the McDonald's pay $2 and 3.50 tip. So and then it was off to deliver the CVS. So that was $5 and 5.89 customer tip. So there you go. Couple pretty decent orders there. Then we get to, so that was at 8:51, and just 5 minutes later, I'm actually heading back home at this point. This where typically where things start to slow down for me, and it had been a slow morning up to this point. So I start heading home, and I get this $4 McDonald's order that if I could go back in time and not take this order, I would. But I took it. I mean, $4, 4 miles. The drop off location isn't that bad. It's like just kind of like on the outer fringes of my zone. It's kind of near my W-2. So I took it, and this is actually the subject of my video today, the roundabout. So okay, so I pick up the McDonald's, and I'm heading to the customer. And this, I pulled this image off of Google Earth. So this is the actual roundabout that I came up to. Um, okay, so I have the order and I'm coming. Now you'll have to excuse the like my writing here. Some of the like this, you see this arrow on the E right here. It was some of the things I was drawing. It was like correcting it and turning stuff into symbols. And where I tried to fix this R up here, I tried to like finish out the R and it turned that into a circle. This is supposed to be Alkire. The left to right street here, that's Alkire. This street running vertical on the map is Demrest. Okay, so I have the order. I'm coming in this direction here on Alkire, and there is a. Hopefully, you like my drawing here. This is supposed to be a semi truck. So there's a semi truck just stopped here, just before, like, so he's not blocking the roundabout. But he is blocking anybody that's trying to come from this direction up to the roundabout can't get there. There's only one lane here. And then there's another semi truck behind him. Now, the cars that were coming in this direction, they could just turn around in the street and they could go back the other way. But these trucks, they can't turn around here. There's no way. But this is not impacting my delivery yet because I'm coming down this way. I can still make my right hand turn here. None of this is impacting me. I make my right and go out of view here, and I've got marked here the customer. The customer is actually like not pictured here. It'd be like off this screen here, this apartment complex. I make my right, I go and I deliver to the customer. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, so I know this is how I would come back to my zone. I'd go like where these trucks are, come around the roundabout, go straight, down Demarest. That's how I would, if this wouldn't have been here, that's how I would have come back to zone, and I needed to go to the gas station next. But I knew I couldn't come this way, so I made a left out of there, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I turned GPS on. I put in the gas station that I wanted to go to and to see how it would direct me. So basically, it just had me kind of go around this way, go down about, I don't know, half a mile. I turn on some street, I come around this way. Well, actually, my pointer's not in view of this video. Anyway, I went around a big circle, and it takes me back to Alkire, and I'm coming back down Alkire the same way again, just like I was for the delivery. But now I'm just trying to get home, so I'm coming up here, and my goal is to come into the roundabout and actually come around here and essentially make a left this time instead of a right. Okay, the problem is that the truck is still there, and as I'm approaching, there's a wrecker, a tow truck that just pulls up here, just pulling up here as I'm approaching the roundabout. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me here. And then, so what ends up happening, I got two cars in front of me. So the first car is right here at the very front. Okay, then you got, car number two, and then here's me right here. Can I draw an X? Okay, I got it. There, the X is me. Okay, so this front car either has to go. They're wanting to go straight or turn left. I'm not really sure, but this car just sits there. I can't go anywhere. I don't know if you can tell in this because it's kind of distant, but this is concrete barriers on both sides of my car. I got cars in front of me, cars behind me. I can't go anywhere unless I want to drive over concrete barriers, which I'm not doing. Um, but this car is just sitting here, and I'm thinking to myself, buddy, this wrecker, this is gonna take, like, you can't just sit here 15 or 20 minutes for that, to haul that semi truck away. The wrecker's got this blocked now. And I'm thinking, this car really just gonna sit here like 20 minutes until this scene is cleared? You kidding me here? And so we're just sitting there. And the people, there's a long line of cars behind us, and this what kind of sucks about this world we live in today. I mean, people are just so angry and violent. I can't get over it. Everybody's impatient. Everybody, like, on the roads, everybody has to speed and everybody has to get to where they're going, like, right now. And they're so violent and angry. So after like a couple minutes, I had like two like Billy Bob badasses in like 40-ton pickup trucks. And this is after like um, horns started blaring and all that kind of thing. Anyway, the two Billy Bob badasses come down the wrong way on this. They're traveling in the wrong lane, wrong direction, and flying down this way, illegally driving this way on the wrong side of the road and then turn down Demarest because they can't, wait. Then soon after that, the tow truck driver gets out of the car and he's being like angry and everything. So he looks at this guy and he's like motioning, he's like and telling him to turn right because, hey, this is going to take a while. You ain't getting through here. So come on, keep this traffic, just go that way. And he's motioning and the guy won't move. And I can see him through his car windows. He's kind of like flailing his arms and pointing that he has to go straight, all this and that, yada, yada. The person in car two opens their car door and that person gets out of the car. And I don't know if they're saying something or yelling at the first driver or if they're yelling at the tow truck driver. I have no idea, but I'm just kind of sitting there the whole time like, man, you just gotta be kidding me here. These people, man, just these first two cars, just can't you just look at the situation and see what's going on and make a right hand turn and and get on with your life, please. So then this guy gets back in his car. So finally, the first car moves and kind of illegally comes this way and comes around. Fortunately, there's no traffic coming, and then comes down, makes a left onto Demarest. And then the car in front of me, and then I do the same thing. Rather than initially, had they followed that tow truck driver's instructions, I was going to turn right and just find another way back to zone. But you could kind of tell that there was nobody around, nobody coming. So I basically did the same. I followed them and did the same thing, and and escaped driving on the wrong side of the street to get out of there. It was a mess. That was an absolute mess. And all of that for $4. Unreal. I tell you what, I said it before, the adventures in door dashing. I mean, it's you get into this type of work, you become a delivery driver, and you get enough experience in it, do it for a long enough period of time, you're going to see some crazy crap, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm out of that scene, out of that situation. Let's move forward, shall we, with the rest of the dash here. 9:35 a.m. $3. CVS under $4. I'm declining that. So that was a straight decline. And not only the low pay, but look at this down here, restricted items, and I got to ID the customer. So that was a double whammy order. So easy decline. I took this, and here we go again with Darbydale, and more than likely the trailer park, and I went ahead and took it because it is a double digit paying order, so let's go ahead and take it. I think I was at I might have been at home again when I took this order. I probably was. That pin position looks about right. So I picked this up, and the customer had one of those churros. I guess my wife said that she got one too. I don't know what this looks like, or I haven't seen the advertisements yet or whatever, but it sounds interesting. I wouldn't be able to eat it though, but curious to see what it actually is. But I get to the customer, the trailer park, and so another problem with like GP. This was a double whammy here. This was a bad pin location. The pin on GPS for this customer's trailer was not right. And I had, in addition to that, bad instructions from the customer. Now, I read these, I thought I read these instructions, and followed them to the letter. The instructions said, when you pull in, first thing it said, you pass a set of mailboxes. Okay, so I pull in, there's a set of mailboxes on my right, I pass the mailboxes. Next, it said you'll make a left-hand turn after the mailboxes at what appears to be a fork in the road. Okay, just past the mailboxes, I come up to a fork in the road, I go off to the left. Travel down a little way. Next thing in the instructions, before you get to the next intersection, my trailer is on the right. After I made that left, the next intersection was coming up on me really, really fast. So I come up to that intersection, stop my car, look over to my right at the number for the trailer that I was parked next to. It was not this customer's trailer. Bad instructions. Some people are just and I don't know, you can't really fault people on stuff like this, because just some people are just not good at giving instructions or telling somebody else how to do something. So some people just are not capable of doing that. So as soon as I figure out that that's not the trailer, then the customer is messaging me. I don't think you're at the right place. I think you went to the wrong trailer. Well, yeah, I know that. Thanks a lot for the information here. And then she shows me some kind of screenshot of like a map with her um the pin position where her trailer's actually, like, I'm going to be able to open up some image or whatever and tell from that whatever she sent me, like I'm going to be able to uh find out where she is from a picture that she sends me. That's not going to happen. I didn't even like look at the picture. So so at this point, I was kind of frustrated. Yeah, I'd already had the roundabout situation. I'm fresh off of that still, so I was frustrated. So I'm like, you know what? This isn't my fault. I'm just gonna drive around this trailer park until I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care if this takes me 45 minutes to drive around these 10,000 different trailers. And as long as it takes me to find this trailer, I'm going to find it. And so I just drove around the perimeter. The trailer number was like J something. So I went past the C's and the E's and the H's and the different letters of the alphabet until I, circled around and came back to like where J's were. And then then, followed the numbers until I found the customer that way. But, so that's the, you know, it's just trailer parks are just, it's just such a hassle. And I don't want it to sound like, I'm knocking people that live in trailers by any means, or what. My first home that I purchased as an adult was a trailer. Now, it wasn't in a trailer park, but it was a trailer, single wide trailer that I lived in. So, but anyway, um, so there's the pay on that. Only $3 from DoorDash, $7 tip. So, um, yeah, surprised I didn't get a 1 star on that. Maybe I still will, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's see what's next here. Next was a really good offer here. So I'm heading back to Zone, and I get this 20 almost $23 for 23 items, and but only driving not even 7 miles. So yeah, this order right here is going to take me close to goal for the day. So heck yeah. So I took this. I get to Meyer. I took a this style of screenshot. You can get more different items listed on a screenshot from this view. So here's at least like some of the items, and so I go in there, and the thing I had the most problems with was the olives, and it was this right here, the Meyer whole Spanish Queen olives. so so I'm looking on the shelf, and I'm not seeing. Long story short, on that, it was there on the shelf. It was just the packaging was uh, different than what was in the photo on my app the DoorDash had. So it was there on the shelf. It just looked different. The color of the packaging and everything. But anyway, there was these two other guys there, and the one customer asked me like what I was doing, if I was on, like, he saw the clothes, and he has asked if I was on a DoorDash order, and I said yeah. And for some reason he seemed kind of intrigued by that, for I don't know why, but and he tried to kind of help me look for the item. Then there was this other guy. Now he was a dasher, and he what now I don't know if maybe some, I guess to some people when they see somebody wearing the clothes like me, this guy might have thought that I was a brand new dasher, and I'm like brand new, and I'm all gung ho about DoorDash, and that's why I wear the clothes. But that's not the case. But I must have appeared to him to be like a inexperienced dasher. So, but whatever. It's fine if he wanted to think that, but I feel like I'm a seasoned pro at this point, with maybe even more deliveries and experience than him. Who knows? I should have asked him, but I really didn't care. Um, but anyway, he's like, can I offer you some advice? And I was like, sure. And but basically, he told me to download the Meyer app, and when I was looking for things like the aisle numbers and section numbers for various different items, is a lot more specific on the Meyer app than it is on the DoorDash app. So DoorDash, it just gives you an aisle number and that's it. And sometimes it'll give you like an aisle number, but like not the department. So it might say like aisle number 4, for instance, but that's not the dry grocery aisle number 4. It's in like aisle 4 in produce, for example. So he suggested that I download that, and then that might help me out. And then I passed him a second time later on in my shopping. I was walking down the main aisle, and I passed by him. Something must have been out of stock, and he was on his phone calling the customer. um, but anyway, look at this. The suggested shopping time on that was 44 minutes, and I shopped that in half of that time. So it only took me 22 um, minutes to find it was actually 22 different items. There was one thing in there that was moldable. So yeah, I had that done in 22 minutes. And then delivered that 20 minutes after that. I had it delivered to the customer. 10.75 from DoorDash, 12.16 customer tip. So great order there. That took me up to, you might as well say, $80. And then I get this $5 Dollar General offer, and I was on the phone with my wife, and we were trying to guess what would the one item be. What could possibly be so important that somebody would just place an order for one item from Dollar General? What in the world could this be? My wife, she had a pretty good guess. Her guess was a pregnancy test. She thought it was going to be another one of those orders. I thought it was going to be something having to do with medication. I thought it was either going to be like painkillers or maybe like some Pepto Bismol, something along those lines. Okay, so I get to the Dollar General. The suspense is like absolutely killing me what this one item could be. And I pull in, and the one item is a bottle of Pepsi. Crazy, huh? A 1 liter bottle of Pepsi. As crazy as that sounds, I've actually had a crazier order than that. I probably already told the story, but I had a Tim Hortons delivery one time that was this little tiny bottle of milk. So the customer probably got on to DoorDash, and where is a place that I can order from that has the smallest size bottle of milk that I can get from anywhere, and it ended up being this little baby sized bottle of milk from Tim Hortons, and that's all I delivered to that customer. I forget how much that paid, but so I went in there. They didn't have this in the cooler, so I got it off the dry shelves, but I got the one Pepsi bottle and off to the customer. It ended up going to a school near where I live here, so that just went and delivered that to the office, and pretty easy delivery. Crazy as it was. I took this next one, $5 Chipotle, 5.9 miles. As soon as I accepted this, I got a notification that the order was ready. So this, I bet this was something that was passed on by a couple other dashers that had to be what the situation was with this order. But I got there, found the order, delivered it, no problems with that one. Then I wrap up the dash with a surprise, surprise, a catering order. So, yeah, I mean, even though it is kind of high mileage, and if you factor in the return mileage, this is actually going to be like more miles than the money I'm getting, but still I figured, I'd take this order because it's going to put me up over my goal. Even if I go over the mileage, it puts me over goal for the day. So I went ahead and took this. Got the Genji Go. The order was ready. 2 sacks fit right in my catering bag. Off I went. This delivered to a business that I've been to before. So as soon as I pulled up on it, I recognized it. I've probably delivered at least 3 catering orders to this place before. And like I said, it wasn't that large of an order. It was just like 6 individual meals for, 6 people. So yeah, I parked, went in through the doors. The customer met me right as soon as I was getting to the door. She was right there, got the order, and done. And then before I got out of my car, I selected to pause the dash after this delivery. So I deliver the order, get back to my car, and I think I was able to send my message, on a hand to customer order has been delivered. Thank you for placing your order. I sent that message and waited my 1 minute, but then I couldn't close out the order. So now I do all the other steps and I get to the final step, and now I have a signal issue with my phone. So long story short, I had to start driving away, and I'm trying to get to the main road, and I come up on some accident scene. There's a car parked, and there's 3 guys with their hands picking up all the pieces of the car off the ground, busted up pieces of, I don't know, headlights and fender or whatever all they were picking up. So I had to turn to the right when I wanted to go left, and then got turned around heading back the way I was wanting to go. Closed out the order, but instead of the dash getting paused, I actually got another offer. So here's the pay screen on that catering order. $3 from DoorDash, which the system must have lowered their portion because of the $19.98 customer tip, but it is what it is. So when I close that out, then immediately this other offer comes up. Instead of my dash being paused and I was done dashing, But I think because of the signal issue or whatever, something happened where it didn't pause my dash when I got an offer instead. And so I have no idea what this El Sabor de Mi Patria is. Never heard of this. So I quickly declined that, and it's only $4.75 anyway. Declined it, ended my dash when I got stopped at a stoplight. Um, but looking at this like now, I probably should have taken this because on my trip back to zone, this is delivering back in my zone. And you see here, I'm heading right in the direction of wherever this place is. So I probably should have taken that and to at least make $4.75 on my return trip. But uh, I didn't even like look at this map or anything. I'd already made the decision that that catering order was my last order, and so it really didn't. I didn't even really look at this or think about that. I just was trying to close this out and end the dash as soon as I could. So ended the dash. My total dash time was 7 hours, 16 minutes. I was active for 4 hours, 42 minutes. So I had, what is that, over 2.5 hours of downtime. So there was some downtime in there. Only had to complete 11 deliveries today to make that $112. So I got a couple, the catering order, the big shopping order. So I had a couple good orders today. Um, that the 11 deliveries takes me up to 2,600 lifetime deliveries, and I finished today with a 74% acceptance rate. So in really good shape. Still above goal for the week heading into tomorrow, um, which normally Thursdays and Fridays are usually my better days. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's it for this dash summary. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and we'll probably see you again tomorrow. Thanks again for watching.